I got this nice new Fireball Mega Square, and I sure would like to keep it pretty. So let's go ahead and put some gun bluing on it. Stand by. Hey everybody, welcome back to the shop. I am James, and I have got these two nifty tools from Fireball Tool, and I got the Monster Square and the Mega Square, and I've gotten these in the cast iron flavor, and I would like to keep them in as good a shape as I can, and to help protect them over the years of use that I know I'm going to get out of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some gun blue to them to help protect them and make them look like that. And it's not terrible hard to do, but you do have to follow the instructions, which may be somewhat of a challenge for some of us, especially when the words are so small on the side of this tiny bottle. So the first thing that we've got to do is we're going to clean the parts with a cleaner or a degreaser. We're going to use denatured alcohol, and then we're going to rinse it with cold water, because that is what the instructions tell us to do. Then we're going to brighten the area with steel wool or abrasive cloth. Then we're going to clean it again and rinse it. Then we're going to apply the blue with a saturated swab or sponge. I'm actually going to use a foam paintbrush. Allow it to work for 30 seconds, rinse with cold water, wipe dry, lightly buff it with steel wool, and then we're going to repeat 4, 5, 6, and 7. We're going to clean it and rinse it, we're going to blue it again, then we're going to rinse it, and then we're going to polish it, and then we're going to rinse it again. And I'm probably going to do 4 coats, because that's what I used on the other ones. So you'll start out with a metal finish like that, and it'll end up looking like that. Easy to do, just protect yourself. This particular flavor of gun blue is made by Birchwood-Casey. If you follow the guitar channel at all, Birchwood-Casey are the people that manufacture True Oil, which we use for a lot of our guitar finishes. It's actually a gun stock oil, and it dries nice and hard. It goes on nice and easy, and I like it. Now, something that I do in order just to make it a little easier to handle these is I put these little Allen screws in the end that actually come with the kit, so that way when I'm going to do this side, then I can do the edges. When I need to do this big flat side, now I can sit it on there and I can paint that. And it says to use a saturated sponge or swab, so make sure you got the stuff on there, and it will take a few coats to get it the way you want it to be. And I've found that by the time I get all these surfaces coated, it's time for me to go out and rinse it off. So you got it all rinsed off, you're like, oh great, I have ruined my piece, because it does not look especially lovely, does it? Okay, that looks a little gooder. All right, well that's not so terrible. So now, what do our instructions say again? Clean again and rinse. So it's going to have us continuing to do this. Now, I am not bluing the rough inside surface of this. I just don't know how it's going to take. You know, maybe we'll do that to one of them, and then if it works out, we can always go back and we can do the rest of them. Now I'm going to go rinse it. I'm not going to show you me rinsing it because I got to move the camera every time and it's a pain in the butt. All right, so there is 4 coats, and now what I'm doing is I'm just putting a very light coat of machine oil on these, and then as suggested, we're going to let it sit for 24 hours. Let that oil kind of soak in. And this is the way I did it. Now your birchwood-casey tells you that when you're done, you're supposed to saturate the metal with barricade rust protection and allow it to cure overnight. I don't have any of that, so that's why I have used the just the coating of light machine oil, and it seems to. You know, this one's been sitting for a couple of days, and I'm quite happy. So now there are a couple of questions, and I don't know the answers, and maybe some of you guys do. Once you put a coat of the bluing on, does it do you any good to like go back over it? I don't know. Or is it just a one and done? As soon as you get the fluid on there, whatever this chemical process is that's happening, you don't enhance it or you don't help it even out by any moving the fluid around. I don't know the answer to that. Is this worth the money to get it done when you order them? On the 8-inch cast iron fabricator, what the extra cost is on that. Is it worth it? Well, part of that depends on you. You know, do you have jobs lined up waiting to get done? Then it probably is. Because if you're sitting here doing this, you're not able to have a billable hour. You're not able to do work for a client to get paid. You're doing something yourself. Now, if you've got more time on your hands than you have work, and you're trying to squeeze, you know, every bit that you can out of every nickel that you have, then this might be. You know, this was a great project to do in some downtime, which I don't know about you, I've got a lot of downtime during the lockdown right now. So it was easier for me to sit here and do this myself and spend, I think it was $12 for this little bottle of blue. So that's a question you're going to have to ask yourself, and that's a question that the answer is different with every person in every situation. So you know, friend of the channel Jay is always saying don't spend money on stuff that you don't have to, especially when we're starting out early in the business like this. Did I think these squares were a wise investment? I absolutely do. Do I think the extra money to have that oxide coating put on them was worth the money at this time? No. You know, in the future, you know, if I'm up to my eyeballs in work and I order the 12-inch set, which I absolutely plan on doing, will I pay the extra to have it oxided by them? Yeah, I probably will, because hopefully by then I'm working really hard trying to hit my hourly shop rate. Anyways, that's what I did. These are the Fireball tools. This is the way they come. This is the way it ended up. Hopefully we're gonna have this finish protected, and these will be some like an heirloom type of tool that we can hand down to, I don't know, somebody at some point. Anyways, I'm James. This is RATTLECAN Fab Shop. You guys have a great weekend. Cheers. I hope you found this episode educational or entertaining, or maybe even both. You might want to check this one out as well. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell to be notified when new videos drop, and if you've got comments, make sure you put them down beneath the sermon notes. Thanks for hanging out with us here at the RATTLECAN Fab Shop. Y'all have a good one. Cheers.